The Adventures of the Saint, starring Vincent Price. The Saint, based on characters created by Leslie Charteris and known to millions from books, magazines, and motion pictures. The Robin Hood of modern crime now comes transcribed to radio, starring Hollywood's brilliant and talented actor Vincent Price as the Saint.
Who? Oh, it's you. For a minute, I thought I just stopped in for a book. Yeah, that's it. You know, No. No. You...
All right. Rome wasn't built in a day. How long did it take?
What?
Never mind.
You're Simon Templar?
Yes.
Then please let me in, quickly.
Of course.
I'm going crazy.
Well, could you wait until we got into the living room? Chairs there. You see?
Maybe you won't believe me, but I am going crazy.
Well, all right, but sit down,
No,
You're very pretty, and I'm glad you came to visit, but I won't have you going crazy in my apartment.
Where should I go crazy?
I have a suggestion. Don't go at all.
But you don't understand. My name is May Owen.
How do you do?
I'm going crazy.
You were explaining why.
I'm sorry. You see, I own a little bookstore.
And you've been reading all the bestsellers?
Of course not. I just rent books. I don't have to read them.
Oh, my apologies. A circulating library,
That's right. And...
Are you starting to cry? You have beautiful eyes. And lovely lashes. Do they belong to you?
Of course they do.
Amazing, May.
Maybelline.
I beg your pardon?
Maybelline on my lashes.
Oh,
I'm not going to cry anymore.
good. Now then, you own a circulating library,
I'm
and to tell me what's bothering you. What is?
Mr. Templar, have you ever heard of a book called Birds and Bees of East Orange?
I've been a luckier man than I'd realized. The answer is no. What about it?
Well, Mr. Templar, in the last month, that book has been constantly in demand. It's crazy. Who cares about the birds and bees of East Orange?
I don't know.
It goes out of the library, a reservation comes in. As soon as it comes back to the library, it goes out again. And then another reservation, and then it comes in and goes out and comes in. Well, why should that happen all the time?
Well, perhaps the author has a lot of relatives.
You still don't understand.
Is there anything to understand? For some reason or other, the book happens to be popular, and, well, there's no real problem.
Oh, but there is. You see, the people who've been taking that book out all the time, well, they're the same people. There it is, Mr. Templar.
Well, stop right here, Louis.
Okay, Mr. Templar. When I should wait, Mr. Templar?
I want you should wait, Louis.
I'll wait.
Mr. Templar,
Yes, May?
you're not speaking to me.
I'm trying to invent a good reason why I'm going to your bookstore with you.
Oh?
May, could I seriously tell anyone I'm going to a bookstore at this hour of the night in order to look at a book called The Birds and Bees of East Orange?
Sure you could.
Yeah, but they wouldn't believe me, just as I don't
Well,
believe...
this is my place.
Oh. Huh. It's nice.
It's small, but the books get in all right.
Oh, that's convenient.
Just a minute till I put the lights on. There.
I'd better shut the door before any midnight browsers come around. Now,
The Birds and Bees of East Orange?
Yes.
Well, it came in just before I shut up shop. It's on reserve, though, of course.
Of course.
So I left it behind the counter.
Well, who reserved it?
One of the people who've been taking it out regularly. It should be down here.
May. Oh, don't faint.
I've got a right.
No. No, what is it?
The man down here behind the counter.
Get out of there and let me take a look at him.
Oh, all right.
Ordinary kitchen knife buried in his chest. He hasn't been dead very long. The body's still warm. May, who is he?
I never saw him before.
You sure?
Of course I am. He doesn't even look like the kind of man who ever read a book.
I'm not so sure of that. Where is the Birds and the Bees book, huh?
I left it on the shelf right here. I don't understand. I left it here. It's on reserve.
The reservation's been canceled.
Mr. Bieber will be terribly angry.
Mr. Bieber being the man who had the reservation?
That's right.
You have a file card for him? I'd like to see it.
It's back in this drawer. Keep all the rental library customers' cards in a box.
What is it?
File cards. They're all gone.
That helps. May, would you happen to remember Mr. Bieber's address?
Yes, I do, because it's a hotel, which is easy.
Oh, thank heaven something is easy. Which hotel?
The Bolivar.
Good. Now, you said the same people kept on taking the East Orange book out all the time, huh?
Uh-huh. The same 3 people.
Who were they?
Well, Mr. Bieber, of course.
Yes.
And then there's a girl named Wendy Willikins. You know, that name sounds funny.
Yes, it does.
The other one's funny, too. It's Peter Piper.
Peter Piper?
Uh-huh. It shouldn't be hard finding someone named Peter Piper.
No, not if it happens to be his real name. However, we do have Mr. Bieber and an address. Yeah, plus a course.
I don't know his name. He never took a book out. What are you doing?
Yeah, maybe this gentleman never took a book out, but luckily he did take out a driver's license.
Oh, his wallet.
Yeah, his name is Dugan, James Dugan, and his occupation?
Is that on his license, too?
No. These, however, were in his vest pocket.
Those?
Yep.
They're dice, aren't they?
Yes, professional-style dice. In a handsome leather case. Therefore, occupation gambler,
Gosh, you figured that out pretty quickly.
I think we'd better phone the police and tell them Mr. Dugan, gambler, has cast his last die.
Joe, be sure to get a picture of the counter. Barney, get some of that back door, huh? Harry, you cover that table, will you?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Oh, Templar.
Yes, Lieutenant Manelli.
Give.
I just did.
Huh?
On March 15th.
Oh. Say, Templar, you and the girl found the stiff by accident, huh?
Yes, of course. He's a total stranger to both of us.
Yeah, so the girl said. There were jimmy marks on the outside door. The stiff was carrying a jimmy.
Are you deducing, Lieutenant?
Phooey. He broke into the place. Why?
He had a fire, but no good book to curl up with.
Goodbye, Mr. Templar.
You want May and me to leave?
I want you to leave.
Oh, but
I'll be all right, Mr. Templar. The lieutenant's very nice.
don't be silly. Actually, he's known as Manelli the Monster, the horror of headquarters.
Hey, Lieutenant.
Excuse me. Yeah, what is it?
Don't let his polished manners deceive you. May, you're not telling him about the birds and the bees.
No.
Well, that's your affair. I'm leaving now by request.
Where are you going?
To see a man about a book. Good evening. I'd like to see Mr. Bieber.
Well, what do you know?
And I know you're not Mr. Bieber. Mr. Bieber wouldn't use perfume. May I come in? I hate to lurk in hotel corridors.
Mm-hmm. You may come in.
Thank you. Is your husband here?
I'm not married. Sorry?
Well, I haven't had time to think about it.
All right. Think about it.
If you're under the impression that you're helping my mental process...
I'm not.
Well, my name is Simon Templar.
Hello, Simon. I'm Wendy.
Wendy Willikins?
Well, how clever of you to guess.
I wasn't guessing.
Oh?
Have you, Read any good books lately?
Oh, darling, you're the first man in 10 years that's asked me that.
Maybe, but I meant it.
Well, the answer is no. And most of the men I meet haven't read any good books lately either. You see, they
The
prefer...
book I had in mind was The Birds and Bees of East Orange.
Oh, well, are they any different from the birds and bees anyplace else?
I wouldn't think so.
Then, Simon, tell me about yourself.
My biography is long and dull.
I don't want a biography. I just want to know what you're doing here.
Trying to find out if you've read a book.
No. You were expecting Bieber to be here. Therefore...
You point guns at anybody who expects Beaver to be here. Wendy, you should have stuck to your other weapons. That revolver doesn't frighten me.
It should.
It would if someone else weren't already pointing a revolver at you.
I don't believe
You
it.
should.
Peter.
I don't like to see girls play with guns, even big girls. Drop it, Wendy.
Oh, I hate you.
Needn't bother eyeing that gun, Mr. Templar. I'll take it.
Seems unfair. You already have one.
I am unfair. I'll tell you a secret, Mr. Templar. I'm a nasty character.
I believe you.
Thanks. Wendy, where's Bieber?
I don't know. I was waiting for him.
You know you shouldn't have come to his hotel.
Neither should you.
True enough. Nevertheless...
Mr. Piper, have you read The Birds and Bees of East Orange recently?
Don't try to startle me again, Templar. My finger might accidentally pull the trigger.
Well, I wasn't testing your nerves. It was your reading matter.
Shut up. Wendy, where does he come in?
I don't know.
Would you like to try that again?
I really don't know.
Weak.
You better not slap her again, Piper.
Why not?
Because then I'd have to take your revolver away.
You wouldn't make it.
Perhaps not. But you'd make so much noise shooting me, I'd bleed and bleed.
Then
and...
stay where you are and mind your own business.
I'd prefer to, but I can't stand seeing women slapped. Probably a childhood fixation or something.
You'll have to stand it. Wendy,
Don't.
I warned you, Piper.
another step, Templar, and you get it.
Believe me, I don't want it.
All right,
but
then. Who's that?
I suffer from defective vision. I can't see through wooden doors.
Mr. Templar. Mr. Templar?
Answer him.
Yes, what is it?
Cops are on their way, coming up the stairs right now.
Oh, thank you.
All right, this one's yours, Templar. But there'll be another time.
Mr. Piper must have a fixation about policemen or something.
I think I'll go out the back door, too, Simon.
Oh, same fixation?
No, but my mother warned me against men in uniform. Goodbye, Simon.
Mr. Templar?
You can come in now, Louis.
Worked, huh?
Yeah, well, bless your raucous little voice, Louis. It worked. There aren't any policemen really on the way, are there?
No, only after what I seen through the keyhole.
It isn't polite to look through keyholes.
You're complaining?
No, but...
Don't worry. I knew you wasn't alone with the blonde. I seen the little guy sneak in. Mr. Templar, who is this Mr. Bieber you're looking for anyways?
A constant reader of The Birds and Bees of East Orange.
Uh-huh. And the blonde?
The same.
And the little guy with the gun?
Also a constant reader.
That book must have something.
Undoubtedly. But what? Come on, Louis.
Yeah, okay. Look, Mr. Templar. Did you read that book?
No. May's copy was out.
Mr. Templar, I'll tell you something. In Brooklyn,
Yes, Louis?
we didn't learn about the birds and the bees from a book.
Well, East Orange apparently isn't Brooklyn, Louis.
East Orange must be awful dull. Well, where to, Mr. Templar?
Home, Louis. I'm expecting company. Come on in, Louis, and...
Hello?
Hey,
Oh. Good evening.
this is the company you was expecting, Mr. Templar?
It was a possibility I'd considered.
Who is he?
He would be Mr. Bieber, I should imagine.
He is.
He's also got a gun.
He has? Now then,
The answer is no.
you're quite sure?
Quite sure.
I've already searched your apartment, of course.
I'm sure you have.
However, you may be a better hider than I am a finder.
I'm a terrible hider.
That might possibly be modesty.
Not really. Mr. Bieber, if you'd stayed in your hotel room, you would have been spared the trip here.
Indeed?
Yes, I've just returned from the hotel.
What a pity.
Of course, your friends were there.
Friend?
Yes, Wendy and Peter Piper.
Nonsense. I know no one by either of those names.
Oh, my